Ayo, ayo, ayo. What a week 2 of the NFL season. So many upsets, so many blowouts, so many close games. I would say this season has so far been very weird, even from like a fantasy perspective. So let's get into it. Today we'll talk about the football season and what's going on in the world of football.
Hey everyone, just a quick message. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. And let me explain. First and foremost, it's free. And there are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer or your iPad. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on many platforms, especially the most popular ones like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more across listening platforms. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, and it's everything you need in a podcast in one place. Believe me, I have used Anchor over the years for all my podcasts, and it's definitely one of the best platforms to use. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
To begin with, we'll start talking about Monday Night Football. We saw 2 games, Buffalo against the Tennessee Titans, and the Eagles took on the Minnesota Vikings in the later game. So both quarterbacks put on a sensational performance. Jalen Hurts rushed for 2. He also threw 1. Josh Allen had 4 touchdowns, including 3 to Stephon Diggs. It seems like that this just might be the Buffalo Bills' year. They were favorites for a lot of people going into the season. So far, they have been looking the part. They took care of business, beating the defending champions, the Los Angeles Rams, and now we've never seen anyone really beat up a Mike Vrabel-led defensive team like the Tennessee Titans. Definitely one of the biggest pieces that they lost was A.J. Brown to Philadelphia. We knew A.J. Brown wanted a bigger contract, and Tennessee didn't really want to give it to him, so they traded him away. And now we're kind of seeing that reflect on their offense, where Ryan Tannehill, he doesn't have a lot of big targets to throw to. And a lot of people are just stacking the box, putting 8 in there, and, pretty much telling them, hey, we are not going to let Derrick Henry beat us. The counter argue to that, everybody will say it, that Derrick Henry every year starts like this, where he's slow. People start talking about how he's fell off. He wasn't a good player to draft early in the fantasy rounds. And then he comes on. So I guess that's still something we'll see as the season plays on. But as of right now, I do not see the Tennessee Titans doing anything special or even being in contention of any of the playoff spots. Buffalo is special. Buffalo is special. I think Josh Allen, there's something about him this year. It seems like that he is going to be keeping a close eye with his preparations, getting the team ready for every week, putting it together one by one, one practice at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 game at a time. And I do believe that he has enough help on offense or defense. I believe Buffalo has done a good job of putting a competitive roster around him, especially with the addition of Von Miller. We know last year when he joined the Rams, people were talking about, he added that He added that little extra fire in Aaron Donald and Odell and Matthew Stafford, Cam Akers, Darrell Henderson, Van Jefferson. They all talked about Jalen Ramsey, how having Von Miller just kind of did something to them. And this offseason, Von came to Buffalo, and now you hear the Buffalo roster speaking about how there's something about that guy, the way he works, and how he pushes the talent around him to be the best version of themselves and compete for a Super Bowl. So I think the addition of Von Miller and Josh Allen taking his game to the next level, Stephon Diggs becoming more of a vocal leader, I think Buffalo has all the seasoning to compete, if not definitely win the Super Bowl. They are my pick for this year. And in the other game, we are seeing what Jalen Hurts can do now, having a healthy receiving corps, including a big blanket, how we say it, in A.J. Brown. Even though he had a very mediocre game, 5 receptions for 69. But we've seen Jalen Hurts being more comfortable in the pocket. He's being patient. He's making the right throws. He's tucking when he needs to. He's sliding. He's not forcing it. He's throwing it away a lot of times also. Philadelphia looks special. They look like a good competitive football team in that division. And I would say presumably the favorites to come out of that NFC division right now over the Cowboys, Washington, and everybody else. Minnesota, on the other hand, started the season gun blazing. Jefferson had, I believe, a $184 with 2 touchdowns in week 1. They started the season 1-0. But it looked like last night, I don't know what it was, just either Kirk Cousins was trying to feed everybody. A lot of balls, they looked like they were definitely forced. There weren't enough air underneath a few of them that Darius Slay intercepted. Another thing that was huge was Dalvin Cook was not himself yesterday. I believe this is a guy that averages almost 112 scrimmage yards. But yesterday, I think he ended the game with about anywhere from between 32 to 58, something there. I'm not exactly sure. But it was surprising to see Dalvin Cook not being himself. I think everybody knows Kirk Cousins. It's just one day it's the good Kirk, one day it's the bad Kirk. But I definitely think Minnesota needs to figure out the division is pretty wide open with them, Green Bay. I don't think there's a presumably favorite coming out of that division. So either, they need to play off Justin Jefferson. Just Kirk needs to feed him as much as he can. And, Thielen seems to be that forgotten man, even though he had a special year a few years ago. But I don't know why. It just seems like he's long past his prime. So, there's kind of my takes on Monday Night Football. 2 teams that completely dominated, Buffalo and Philadelphia. They're looking like they're doing the right things. One is definitely looking like a Super Bowl contender. And, the 2 losers of Monday Night Football definitely do not look like they're going to be doing anything special, especially Tennessee. I think they need to regroup and figure out what type of season that they need to have or they want to have. Minnesota still has the talent that you need to be successful on a football field. I believe they need to understand or figure out their schemes, and then they need to figure out the identity of their team, what they would like to be. Hey, I just want to thank everyone that tunes in. I know we're not one of the biggest podcasts or anything like that. We don't have celebrities on, but if you tune in, I do appreciate you guys. Definitely gonna try to do more weekly episodes, especially with football season and NBA coming up. We're getting into October, so I'm ready for the Astros. Go Stros! So definitely looking forward to all the sports that we're about to get hit with. Man, one thing that's been on my mind, gotta take away these not good Chicago Bears off of Sunday Night Football. It's getting embarrassing now. Every time they put them on Sunday Night Football against Aaron Rodgers, it's a joke. It's literally a joke. I think everyone needs to bet against the Packers week 1, because it seems like for 2 straight years now, Aaron Rodgers does not like to play the first week of the season. And then that second week, everybody needs to bet the mortgage on the Packers, because it seems like on week 2 they play their best football, especially if it's Sunday night against the Bears. Man, it's like a schedule loss.